Vehicular pollution is on the rise in India, and the worst hit is Delhi. A study for the World Bank says 7,500 premature deaths could be avoided in Delhi by sticking to World Health Organization standards for air pollution. The expense on healthcare in Delhi is rising. The Supreme Court of India has taken notice and wants smoke-spewing vehicles off-road. Vehicles in Delhi belch out over 1,300 metric tons of pollutants every day. This is 64% of the total air pollution of Delhi. Taking serious note of the health hazards posed by vehicular pollution, the Supreme Court has suggested 3 ways to curb it. Registration of new vehicles be suspended for a few years. Vehicles older than 7 years be taken off the road. A system be devised by which a third of the vehicles are off the road each day. The government has been asked to look into the feasibility of the suggestions. The World Health Organization, WHO, classifies Delhi as a city with severe air pollution. The total suspended particulate matter level is 5 times the WHO standard. Environmental activists are also raising the issue. A report by the Center for Science and Environment, a non-governmental organization, identifies poor fuel quality as the major cause of this air pollution. Refining technology in India, it says, is obsolete.
Is that we have to catch the throats of the petroleum ministry. They produce some of the worst fuel in the country, in the world. So we have to tell them, you cannot sell fuel that is a threat to public health. You have to get your act together. The Ministry of Petroleum is a producer of fuel as well as a regulator of fuel quality. It forgets regulation.
Officials of the Ministry of Petroleum say an investment of over 50 billion rupees would be required to upgrade the refineries. Programs to limit vehicular emissions are implemented erratically, and they don't really help. Catalytic converters were made mandatory for all cars sold in the metros from April 1, 1995. Owners complain catalytic converters are hard to maintain because fuel is sometimes adulterated. 7 years ago, the government introduced a procedure to check the emission levels of vehicles. Under this, a pollution under control certificate is issued.
It's only a short-term cure. Actual cure is in terms of having better inspection and maintenance of the vehicles, which is done in some other countries. In fact, the pollution under control certificate system which is there is not enough.
In addition, most vehicles are owned or poorly maintained. To make things worse, contradictory policies of the government are the order of the day. The Environment Ministry wants emission norms to be made stricter, but the Surface Transport Ministry has relaxed them to accommodate the manufacturers.
There needs to be greater coordination between different agencies of the government. The Surface Transport Ministry, the Environment Ministry, the Petroleum Ministry, the Industry Ministry, and then with the state governments who do transport planning and so on.
Before 1991, setting up a car plant required a plethora of licenses from the government. Cars were in shortage and emission norms were not a priority for the few manufacturers. Earlier, a similar situation existed for two-wheelers. In fact, Minister of State for Environment Jai Narayan Nishad feels that the only way to curtail pollution in Delhi is to discourage the use of two-wheelers. In the last 5 years, though, the number of vehicles in Delhi has seen a 5-fold increase to over 2.5 million. Every day, about 600 new vehicles hit the road. Although some have better technology, the overall impact is still strong.